Hello to anyone who's watching. What I have for you today is a review of the new for 2016 Spyderco Lil Lum. This is a Bob Lum design that is based off of his old Chinese folder model. It is not called the Chinese folder because there are some slight differences in the blade shape and in the size of the belly, because while this knife was in production, Spyderco lost the plans to the original Chinese folder and sort of had to riff on the shape of the blade. So again, this is a Bob Lum design. It does have his trademark on it, but it is not called the Chinese folder. It is just a Lil Lum. All right, moving on to the specs of the knife. This is a 2.25 inch cutting edge with VG10 blade steel that is made in Seki City, Japan. The weight of this knife is extremely favorable, coming in at 1.82 ounces. And a lot of that is because although there are full stainless steel liners, they are milled out very well. You can see that right there. And we have G10 handle scales that have this good medium traction. And we have the traditional 3-screw pocket clip from Spyderco. All right, moving back to the blade though for a minute, and this 2.25 inch cutting edge. You know, when I heard about the size of the blade, I knew I was getting into a small knife, but I wasn't sure just how small it was going to be. I was surprised when I unboxed it just how small the size is. So what I'm going to do for frame of reference right now is just bring in a couple other small knives so that you can get an understanding of what you will get when you purchase this knife. That right there is the Spyderco Dragonfly, and right here is the Ambitious. All right, so again, this is sort of right in between those two in size, so it is a very, very small knife. And so that will sort of dictate what your application is for this knife, and so will the ergonomics, which we're jumping into now. So that'll all tie together, because with the ergonomics, we have no jimping up top here, and we have no choil at the bottom. So a very small, lightweight knife with no choil and no jimping sort of means that ergonomically, my small to medium hands get 3 fingers on the blade, or excuse me, on the handle. And without the guard, you know, any kind of heavy cutting task would put my finger right here at risk of sliding forward and getting cut on the blade. So this knife is going to end up being a lightweight EDC, probably a gentleman's carry. What I've considered doing, and maybe I'll end up actually applying the knife in my carry system this way, is removing the pocket clip and using it as a back pocket knife or a jacket pocket knife. So there is that option as well. All right, back to the ergonomics though. The G10, like I said, is medium grip, so it has a really good traction there. Almost might be too good, because underneath the pocket clip you could have some issues with chafing of your pants pocket, depending on what kind of pants you wear. So just be aware of that. And to continue on with the pocket clip. The clip has been a topic of heated debate so far on the forums and in some other reviews that I've seen. There have been a lot of people who have said this is like the wrong clip for this design. We should definitely have, I'm sorry while I try to get this in focus, there we go. We should definitely have the loop over wire clip that you see right here. And while I can understand the complaint, you know, you definitely want to have the deepest carry possible with a knife like this, because it's so small you don't want a lot of real estate poking up. But the clip for me is no deal breaker. I don't have an issue with it at all, really. You know, there is a small lanyard hole, so you could put the lanyard in there. It is too small though for 550 cord, I think, so you'd have to figure something else out. So maybe the pocket clip would be a big deal for you. Again, not really for me, for what I'm planning on using the knife for. All right, moving on to function and fit and finish. This is just a really well put together knife. The quality of it is excellent. It's really excellent, nicely put together. No real seams here. Just the quality of production is very high. All right, the lockup is pretty much perfect. And then when we close the knife, you can see the centering is on point as well. One of my favorite qualities of this knife is the fact that you have this full spider hole that's available to flick open. So even with a knife this small, you can flick the knife open really easily. The speed of it is quick. I mean, the action is very, very smooth. So you can definitely flick. And so you can have all the fun of a large size Spyderco with a small blade. All right, so in terms of the actual build and the function of the knife, I don't think there is a single complaint with that. All right, but the real question and the thing that you're going to have to ask yourself when you're considering this knife is there value in it for me? This knife has a $130 price point on Amazon and at like basic retailers. So that is a question that you have to figure out for yourself. Is there value in this knife at that price point for me? I'm not here to have a debate about that. Maybe one day I'll make a video about just price in general and how I think it's done and what my opinions are. What I will say though is that there are a lot of other knives for $130. So unless this is a knife that you are sold on 100% and you know exactly how you're planning on implementing it in your systems, or maybe you're a collector and you love Bob Lum designs, and since he passed recently, you want to get this one. There's a dozen reasons to get this knife, but there's also just as many reasons to choose something else if you're not already attached to this particular model. And so all I'm going to do right now is bring out a couple other knives in similar price points so you can get an understanding of what else you can get for the money you'd be spending on this. All right, right here, I've already reviewed this knife. It was actually my first ever YouTube video. This is the Spyderco Sage 5, also new for 2016. It's going to run you $5 more than the Lil Lum. All right, so it's something to think about. Up here now we have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and this one is an S110V, so that's a little more expensive. But the regular Paramilitary 2 in S30V, better materials on both of these two knives than the Lil Lum right here. The regular Paramilitary 2 is going to be cheaper. So again, what do you value in a knife, and what do you need in your carry system? What do you need in your collection? What are you looking for? And that's the question you have to answer for yourself. So hopefully I helped answer the question with as many details in this video as I could. If you do have any questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. All right. What I am going to do before we go is sort of give you a preview of what my next video is going to be. It's actually going to be a comparison video between this knife right here, the CRKT Jedson, and this one right here, the Kershaw Intellect. They're both new for 2016. You can see some similarities in the designs and the materials. So, we're going to go over what the differences are between those knives. I'm really excited to make that video. But that is a video for another day. I thank you for watching today, and hope to hear from you in the comments down below, and hopefully you'll join me again soon. Take care.